share some thoughts I had this morning about credit cards. But let me just say ahead of time, because I don't want to be told, oh, you're so irresponsible for suggesting people use credit cards. I'm not suggesting you use your credit card. You are grown-ups. You are responsible for your own choices, and you need to know yourselves. You need to know your own strengths and weaknesses. I'm just going to tell you how credit cards have actually worked for me. Now, the first thing is never put anything on a credit card unless you know you can pay it off. Okay? I do not carry a credit card debt, a credit card balance month to month to month. If I put something on a credit card, I pay it off because you don't want to be incurring those high interest rates. So that's the first thing. I'm not saying throw stuff on credit cards. If you can't afford something, you don't buy it. Okay, I am telling you that. Do not buy things you can't afford. But if you know yourself and you know that you have the self-discipline and the money to pay that credit card debt off every month before you incur any kind of fees or interest charges, how can credit cards work for you? Well, here are a couple thoughts I have. I've had an American Express card for many, many, many years, and I earned travel bonus points on it. And over time, I have had enough points that I have been able to get 2 free flights to Ireland and a flight to Germany and a flight to India and back. These are return trip flights. Okay? So that was using the credit card for purchases that I was able to pay off that month. So if you can't pay it off and you're going to pay high interest, then those flights really aren't free. But it seemed to me like it worked out pretty well that we got free flights and were able to do some traveling on a budget. Oh, birdie, 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 birdie. What else? Okay. Sometimes we get an offer in the mail from Home Depot because we have a Home Depot card. And it will say that if you make a purchase over a certain amount, I think sometimes it's $200 or it might be $400, you can get 6 months of interest-free financing. So you can buy your item now, and for the first 6 months is not going to accrue any interest. But at 6 months, oh yeah, they're going to be throwing some interest on there. So we haven't just used that deal willy-nilly to just go out and buy whatever for $400, but we have used it when we actually were already planning to buy something and we needed something. Like, let's say you need a dishwasher and you've saved up for it, or you know you can pay it off, or you need a new hot water heater, or you need... I mean, you don't really need a dishwasher because you can wash dishes by hand, but you probably do need hot water in your home, whatever it is, or you need a generator, or whatever. So we've made that kind of purchase in the past, and rather than taking a single chunk of money out of savings to pay it off all at once, and therefore be down for $400, I have figured out what the monthly payment would be over, let's say, 5 months, and I've made that payment during that no interest period, so the whole bill was paid off a month prior to shifting into being charged interest, but I didn't pull the money out of savings to pay it. I worked it into our budget. And I think a lot of times it's easier to work in a small payment monthly into your budget and then still have that full chunk of money in your savings, if you can do that. If you have the self-discipline to actually pay it every month. If you don't, then don't do it. Because that 6 months is going to be up sooner than you think, and then all of a sudden you think, oh, I never paid that, I owe this chunk of money, and it's about to flip into full interest due. Now, on the topic of store cards, there have been times where I've signed up for a store card. I don't really like to have a lot of credit cards, and I don't really like to have store cards. But sometimes you're there at Target or Sears or wherever, and they say, oh, do you have a Sears card? If you open a Sears card today, you get 15% off this purchase. And I usually just say, no thanks, because, most of the time my purchases are so low that it wouldn't make a difference. But there have been times that I've thought, yes, I'm purchasing enough that I feel like that 15% off is significant. So I'll go ahead and get the store card, I'll get the 15% off, but I pay the bill off immediately, and then I cancel the card because I really don't want to have store credit cards, because I'd rather put the points on my American Express card to earn travel mileage. So a few months ago, I was ordering something from LL Bean, and so that deal came up that if you get their credit card, you get the certain amount off. And it was a pretty significant savings. So I went ahead and did that, and I paid the card off immediately when the bill came. Last Christmas with Amazon, I don't tend to buy a ton of things at Amazon because, okay, that is the danger of using credit cards. It's just much easier to spend too much money. So you really have to have self-discipline. You have to know yourself. You have to know how much money you have in the bank, how much you can actually afford, because you're not buying things you don't have the money for. But I was buying something from Amazon for Christmas, and it was very convenient, and I had the deal that if I applied for this Amazon Visa, I would get $50 off my first purchase or something like that, and free shipping. So it's a pretty significant savings. So I went ahead and did it, and I got this whole purchase for, I don't know, maybe 60% off, or I forget exactly, but it was like a good chunk. It really was a significant savings. The bill came in, I paid it right off, never using that credit card again. So if you have the self-discipline to pay the card off, and you have the money to pay it off, and you're not buying things that you can't afford in the first place, you can make credit cards work to your benefit. You can save money, you can earn reward points. That is what I have done. But I know many people who go way into debt have trouble controlling their credit card spending. So I'm not going to suggest that those people try this, because really for them, you would do better going to a cash system or an envelope system and budgeting yourself certain strict amounts and learning to have the self-discipline to work within that budget. But if you are able to manage your credit card and pay it off, why not take advantage of the savings offers and earn the rewards points? That's what I'm thinking. That is what I have done, and that works for me. And I am not in credit card debt, and I do pay it off because I'm not going to put something on it in the first place if I can't afford it in the first place. And that's what I'm thinking about that. What do you think of that, honey?
I think it's a great idea.
Do you?
Yes.
Frugal Husband supports the plan. Have we done this to our benefit many times with Home Depot purchases?
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have. And actually, with the Home Depot card, we didn't cancel that right after we got it. We keep that because, what do you get, 10% off when you use it? When you use your Home Depot card for a purchase there, don't they take 10% off?
They used to take 5% off.
They used to take 5% off. They don't do it at all now?
No.
I thought they matched what Lowe's did, which was 10%.
They matched Lowe's, yes.
I think they'll match what Lowe's does, which is 10% off. Oh. Alrighty, so please don't tell me I'm being irresponsible for giving anybody permission to use a credit card, because you are going to take responsibility for yourself and your own choices and your own actions. And you are not going to buy things that you cannot afford in the first place. Right? Right. So, if you have any comments on this,
If you need support.
feel free to leave them. And should I give them like a 1-800 number to a credit counseling
No,
service?
if you need support, I will talk you through it. I'll get you off the cliff,
Off the cliff.
off the ledge. If you just say, oh no, I need a new boat, I need a new hairdo.
Yeah, you know what? You're not using your credit cards to go out and buy a new boat or a new hairdo. You're still not wasting money on things you don't need. We're still talking about
And sometimes you just need
necessities.
to talk it through with people. So send me a message. I'll talk you through it. I'll help you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, you know how you can call Susie Orman's show and ask her if you can afford something?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to call Susie. You can ask me. I'll go through your finances with you. I'll go through your budget with you. I'll go through the numbers and tell you if you can afford something.
It's like text Amy or see whatever Amy.
Yeah.
Comment to Amy.
Comment to Amy. All right, so have a great day. I'm off to clean the house all day. It's going to be so fun. And click. No, click up there to subscribe. Don't click on the cat. He's not going to help you out.